Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury and Bulldog Nation, one of the blessings that I have from being a paper pusher during the day is I can have TV on and watch Fox News while I'm working in my office. And yesterday was another one of those great times where I got to witness Mark Rutte from NATO. He is a former prime minister of Holland. He's Dutch. And the Netherlands. He is such a polished, strong personality. And to watch him and President Trump speak to the press during this news conference, it was just amazing. And he was called a star by Trump. And Trump asked him, he goes, I would think that you could confirm this, about how all the countries are so glad that the United States is in fact backed, unlike Joe Biden's BS. It was fascinating. And speaking of this, relative to Ukraine and Russia, there was a massive announcement yesterday where the United States is going to sell arms, Patriot missile systems and whatnot, to NATO, who's going to provide them to Ukraine. And the European countries that are close to Ukraine, they're going to give them to them right away, and then America will replace those. And basically has also told Putin that he's got basically 50 days or they're going to invoke massive tariffs and what's called secondary tariffs. They can really hurt Putin and his trade, basically just completely destroy his economy.
And one of the reasons that you're here today is to hear that we are very unhappy, I am, with Russia. But we'll discuss that maybe a different day. But we're very, very unhappy with them, and we're going to be doing very severe tariffs if we don't have a deal in 50 days. Tariffs at about 100%. You'd call them secondary tariffs. You know what that means.
Putin's got a problem. And what Rutte said was, hopefully Putin's watching this, I'm sure he was, and he does something. And then Trump got very personal about how he has these nice phone calls with Putin, and then what happens? More bombs fall at night. He actually called him an assassin, too. He goes, I don't want to call him an assassin, but he's pretty tough. So, Putin lost a friend, so to speak. I mean, Trump's going to keep talking to him, but he had an opportunity, and now he's overplayed his cards. Supreme Court issued a ruling which is going to allow the continued dismantling of the Department of Education, which returns all of education back to the states. I get asked by this many times. I may, and I will probably even run for governor of Kentucky again, even though there's going to be sitting congressmen will run too that have an advantage over me. And I think what I'm going to do when I run is I'm going to run on the education issue. I can't understand why our country doesn't make the major shift it needs in education. Maybe this will be the beginning of it, getting rid of the federal involvement. Lara Trump says that she expects more being released relative to the Epstein files and some public hearings on it. What did I say? What did I say last week without even knowing this, using my brain? I said, I expect that there'll be some releasing coming out relative to Epstein. It seems like politically there has to be. Dr. Anthony Fauci, in light of the auto pen issue, which we're going to talk about in a minute, Rand Paul wants Fauci to be re-referred to the DOJ for prosecution. I like the chances of the DOJ taking up that battle. That guy, Fauci, is evil. This is one of those what could have beens. Camp Mystic waited an hour after getting the warning of life-threatening floods. They got it a little after 1 a.m. They didn't act till 2 a.m. Unbelievable. Sad. You got kids in your control, you don't take any chances. Russiagate. CIA Director John Brennan and former FBI Director James Comey, they are under criminal investigation. And I expect this to yield some really spooky stuff. Let's hope we get some justice. Ice cream. The United States dairy farmers and ice cream manufacturers, according to Bobby Kennedy, have agreed to take out artificial dyes, phase them out by 2028. Zohan Mondami, he had a press conference yesterday and started getting hit with some questions, and he was pulled off the stage. By the way, this guy, if he were to win, would be like holding up to the whole country, this is what socialism gets you. All right, nobody's talked about this yesterday on the auto pins, but you're going to get it from me. When they admit he did not approve each individual pardon and clemency, but he approved the groups, well, the next question is, who were the groups? Who were the groups? What were the criteria? We need to know that. And then you take that list of those 1,500 people and you see which one of them's even fit in that group or didn't fit in that group. Do you just think of the people in the inner circle of Joe Biden? They could have said, hey, I want to get this person in for a pardon. Done. And guess what they get paid? Money. Money. This scandal is going to grow, as it should. And yesterday, can't believe it, former Governor Cuomo announced he's going to run as an independent for New York governor. He's had no chance. All right, in pop culture, Jessica Alba was seen with Danny Ramirez. He, of course, is from the Captain America series. Jessica filed for divorce in February from Cash Warren, has 3 children. Jessica Alba, best of luck to her. Sports Without Boundaries. Cal Raleigh was the first catcher to win the home run derby contest. I watched a little bit of it. It gets kind of boring. Tonight at 8 p.m. is the All-Star game I will be watching. Shakespeare insult of the day, do not be a muggling, moppish Neanderthal. Stay tuned for our local news.